Was that a little bit more what you expect or what you've seen from Chaz?
Yeah, and first it was a really good opener for us. An extremely well coached team that, and we knew that coming in, they were going to do what we thought, and they do it well. They adjusted at the end where they were just driving it, putting their bodies on us, taking us down low, and defensively, I thought we were okay for the most part, other than what we gave them with turnovers and second chance points. But I say gave them, they went and took it and made good with it. But the fact that they showed different defenses was, again, great for us. And I thought for the most part our guys handled that okay. Other than the last 5 minutes, I didn't think we were very good. When too many guys that weren't aware of the clock and the situation. I don't care what the score is. Just playing the game the right way. We didn't do that very well in the last 5 minutes the way we needed to. But Chaz has the ability to do that. I thought Jordan was terrific coming off the bench, and he gives us such a spark, and we got Z's minutes down where we would like to have him because Jordan is a guy that can play multiple positions out there. And Chaz, I thought he really tried to work hard defensively. For the most part, he had a couple breakdowns where when the post guys started going in there, and he kind of stood and watched and let some guys sneak inside of him to actually offensive rebound. And but he'll get better. We all have to get better, obviously, but they're a really extremely well-coached team, and they play hard, and their point guard was terrific. I mean, he just played outstanding basketball.
I was going to ask about Jordan. Just what's the most different about him right now compared to this time last season?
I think he's gotten better in a lot of different areas. I mean, he has really become one of our best players in a ball screen situation. I think he's a guy that can score at 3 levels, and defensively he's working at it to get better, like all players have to. He's very unselfish. He's always team first guy, and he should be confident in everything that he does because of the time and attention he puts into the details that we want. But he's again, he has improved so much in ball screens and attacking the rim, those type areas.
Rick, how do you assess how Felix played tonight? He had 2 points and 4 fouls and 3 turnovers, but he gave you 9 rebounds as well. How do you view that?
Honestly, it's probably, since I've known Felix, it's probably the toughest day he's had. But to not make excuses, but to tell the truth, he's got a really pretty serious hip pointer, but he absolutely refuses to come out of practice and play. And the game, I mean, he's going to play. And I thought he was slow getting off the ball, which he's not normally slow at doing that. But I'm really proud of the fact that, I mean, I know, if you ever had dealt with a hip pointer, you know what it's like. And I mean, I can show you film in practice where he's almost trying to protect it with his hands. And again, from a production standpoint, since I've known him, this might be the worst day he's had. And but he'll work at it and he'll get better. I mean, offensively, I'm talking about more offensively. Defensively, I thought he tried to do the things that we asked him to do.
Rick, also regarding Jordan, what does he do for you now with this different confidence? How does that affect Sakai, what you can do at point guard and overall offensively?
What do you say?
With Jordan, with his improved confidence, how does that change what you can do?
Well,
with
it changes a lot because the fact that, again, he can we could actually get Z off the ball a little bit, and Jordan, he's been around 4 years, and he just does so many, he understands how we want to play for one. I don't think he forces things. I don't. I think he's starting to understand exactly where he needs to get to on the floor with his spots, his space. I've always mentioned that the game is about space and knowing where to attack for yourself to be effective, and there's no doubt he's figuring that out more and more. And he's just working hard, and he's working hard on both ends, and he cares a lot. And the fact is, I think he can get better.
Coach, the transfers have been part of the game for a few years now. It's the first time you've had 3 in the starting lineup. Because of that, you think it's going to take maybe a little longer to get the cohesiveness you want on both ends?
We're a different team. I mean, we're a whole different team than we were a year ago, just what you said. I mean, we're a young team in some ways, other ways, and we're young in the fact we haven't played that much together. I mean, you think about it, certainly, you know, you got 3 guys, you know, Jordan, Zakai, and Jemai have been in high-level games, Elite 8 games. They understand what it's like. Those other guys have no clue. Now, we got guys that sit on the bench and watched it until they get enough time out there to run and play. Like, I thought Cade really settled down more in the second half, and Cade can be a very effective player for us. But then you're talking about the transfers that come in. It's new to them. It's all new to them. The level, what we expect with on the defensive end, and again on the offensive end, putting it all together. So we realize this is a whole new team. It's got a chance to start a race on their own, and we talked about that before the game. And now we go on the road purposely to play a team that we know that's going to be an outstanding team, and see what we can do to continue to build to get better. We got to get better, and everybody knows that this time of year. But other than the last 5 minutes, there were a lot more positive than negatives. But I want to play 40 minutes mentally the game the right way. Again, making shots, that might not happen, but in terms of making wise decisions and understanding the value of the ball, those type things, we ought to be able to do that for 40 minutes. Defensively, you got to respect the other team for some of the things that they did. Like tonight, their point guard did a terrific job. I mean, he really did, and they battled. They played hard. They never stopped playing. I was so impressed with. I thought their bench stayed with them throughout the game, and there's no doubt they came in here with the attitude that they knew they could beat us, and the way we worked the game early, I thought was really good from our point of view. And then when we had a big lead, we showed that we're not ready to be where we need to be because they kept playing in a smart way, and we didn't. And so, again, give them great credit. And it's my fault at the end of the game when we don't play the way that we do. That's on me, and it's up to me to fix it.
Coach in the back here, you mentioned the last 5 minutes and how they were changing different defenses on you. They threw a zone at you guys. The ball kind of got stuck. What do you want to see differently from your offense?
Better decisions, and understand you can't come out of timeouts and just throw the ball away, bouncing the ball in there, and knowing when you go for the big play, the explosive play, and when you don't. Players can't just break out, go one-on-one, spin dribble, lose the ball, just not understanding the clock situation and all that, but we'll fix it.
Coach Luther was talking in the back here. Coach Luther was talking about how cool this experience was for his program. When you've got guys like Chaz and Igor who are also playing their first game in an environment like this, is that something that you have to talk to them about beforehand, or do you find they get that out of their system through the off season, the bigness of a program like this?
No, you got to play these games. And again, I think our guys, I mean, you think about it, those guys came from this level. Basically, if that's what you want to talk about, if you're trying to, but the levels don't matter anymore. I mean, I mean, those guys, again, I could talk about them all night with their schemes, what they were doing, and how hard they were trying to get done what they practice. And again, you always love watching teams when you've watched film of them going in and you see them coming out really trying to continue to execute what they're trying to do, and that team's going to win a lot of games. And then they adjusted. Coaches did a good job. You know, we were really trying to work hard at trying to run them off the line. I thought they did a really good job of when we were jumping heavy gap, throwing back over top, getting downhill that way. Just little subtle things that, from a coach's standpoint, you really appreciate. And and then they were putting their head down some, just trying to kind of just bully us, not bully, but, you know, just play with a lot of aggression going downhill. And then, you know, late in the game, we adjusted a little bit. We don't want to give up threes, and we want them to obviously have to fight for tough twos. But it was this time of year, again, we work hard at trying to schedule the right way. It doesn't do us any good to schedule someone on paper that we're supposed to be by 40, 50. It doesn't do it. Games like this help us, regardless of even when we were up 27, 28, whatever it was, our guys learned tonight that other teams have a lot of pride, a lot of heart. They're not going to stop playing. And again, if they had made that push more around this 8-9 minute mark like that, it'd have been who knows? They could have cut that lead down. And you think about it, ended up winning by what was it, 15? That's 5 possessions. That's all that is, 5 possessions. And so I give them a lot of credit for how hard they fought when they were down. I didn't think at any point in time they teetered. I thought they kept doing all the things that well-coached teams do. And we got the lead, and we didn't. We didn't play like a well-coached team, and that's my fault.
Last one's be the hands that seat out. Ryan Grant, last race.
How would you assess y'all's rebounding tonight?
I thought we had some, and again, obviously, when you get in there and you start backing down, pushing, all that, there's a lot of balls that break loose like that. But we thought they would be a good rebounding team because we knew they were going to drive it hard, and we were going to have to rotate, and out of that rotation, get back to try to block out those type things. But it's not up to the standard that we have to go where we want to go.
Any update on D. Stone when he might be back involved? Or whatever?
His timetables with him right now. You know, we're leaving it up to him. He's around. He's still here with us every day, and we just want to make sure he knows that we're there for him, and everyone around has been. But tough time for him, just personally. That I think he's dealt with it for a while, but we love him to death, and we miss him. But it's up to him. That is all on his time.
Rick, with I guess some of the setbacks or injuries that JP Estrella's had, how much has that sort of cut into getting him where you want him to be right now, and when can he maybe become the player that?
First of all, I was really proud of him because at the shoot around today, he didn't go through shoot around with us, and so that was, if you talk about a game time decision, because I told Bob Kessling during the pregame radio thing that we do that he's not going to play. And then I come out of there, we're actually in the film room, and we get a text that JP wants to go, which I think is a major step for him because is he 100% no? But I thought his minutes were valuable for us tonight. And to get to the shape that he needs to be in, he's going to have to do things like he did tonight. Because if you just sit, it's not just going to happen. It won't just happen. And the longer the train starts rolling and he's not a part of it, the harder it is for him to catch up. And he can be a real force for us if he can just get healthy, stay healthy. But I'm proud of him because he, again, not 100%, and he fought through it.
Last one for Breeze.
Coach in the back here, I'm sure you guys track deflections. What makes Jemiah's hands so quick on defense where he gets all those deflections?
Well, he's an elite defender, and he doesn't get credit for that. I think if more people had kept up with deflections, at the end of the year, everybody wants to probably vote Defensive Player of the Year based on steals and things like that. But his deflections and he played, we played small ball with him, and because we think he can guard anybody on the court. And but he's got really active hands. We've talked about fix-it guys. He's one of those great fix-it guys, and but that's what he's great at it, and he takes great pride in it. He wants to get his hands up, be active, and we've got to get more people doing it. But that'll be another great thing from the film that we can show his teammates where you can impact a game by just doing that.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.